make that on you as a therapist.
I'm not sure.
How do you know it's fun?
We are live.
Woo!
Yeah!
Alright, high five! This is our first time. Welcome to the Spring Clarity Workshop.
Welcome. My name is Alejandro.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are Fluent in Nature. So if you're joining us for the first time, we appreciate you being here. We're going to give it about a minute or so just to see if anybody else is hopping onto the live. If you are, know that you can type in the comments, just let us know where you're from, and all the good things. So yeah, we'll give it a second. If you're just getting settled in, welcome again. And try to get yourself nice and comfortable. There is a PDF in the description down below. So if you haven't gone ahead and gotten that, go download that so that you can have it.
Some other things you might need, maybe a yoga mat or rugs and space. We're going to be starting with some yin yoga. You don't need a lot of space, just something comfortable, some paper, a pen if you don't have that PDF. Alright, shall I go ahead and get started?
Let's go ahead and get started. Wonderful.
So welcome to our Spring Clarity Workshop. We've decided to do this workshop in the springtime because, at least for me, starting resolutions, starting new goals during the winter, January 1st doesn't really feel like the best time for me. And spring is much more in alignment in terms of like new beginnings, new growth, everything is out, there's so much more energy. So for me, this is when I really like to get going on new goals, on new dreams, taking action, hence our very first workshop. Look at us taking action on our goals, on our dreams. Thank you so much for being here, being a part of this. And so we really want to bring you along and help you find your clarity and where you want to go. We want to help knock down those limiting beliefs and transform them into empowering beliefs so you can do those things that you really want to do.
Wonderfully said. So a couple housekeeping rules. If you're here, like I said, go ahead and grab something comfortable. You might be sitting just on the table. Just watching this, know that we are going to be doing some yoga as well, so you might have to move yourself onto the ground. But other than that, grab a piece of paper, a pen. If you're like me and you like to go digital, maybe you have an iPad, something you can write with. But the important part here is that you're actually able to do the exercises with us, and that you're able to participate. This isn't just something that we want you to watch, this is something that we want you to take action on. And on top of that, just be your best self. try to stay as present as possible, try to do the whole video of the class and the exercises all the way to the end. You'll see that if you do that, you're taking action upon yourself. You're committing to yourself to being in this time of spring and pushing yourself to doing the best that you can as we progress through these transitions of the seasons. So yeah, and so the goal for today, as Nicole said, so we want to teach you 3 tools. The first tool is going to be the Wheel of Life. That's just going to allow you to get clarity on where you are. Anytime we want to take action, we need to know where we are first. From there, we can start a moving point. So that'll be the first part. Second part, Nicole is going to teach us a wonderful yin yoga class that's going to allow us to de-stress and allow us to become really present. When we put ourselves in an energetic state that's really positive for us, whether it be just relaxing or releasing stress, that allows us to bring ourselves into a different state so that we can push ourselves and we can actually activate a different part of our brain instead of being in a stressful state. Hopefully that will make sense a little bit later. And the last part that we're going to do is going to be limiting and empowering beliefs. So Nicole will guide us through that as well. So shall we just go ahead and get started?
Sure. Okay, so we'll start with the yin class. So make some space on the floor. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. If you know what yin is quite different from any of the yang styles of yoga, like vinyasa, hatha, ashtanga, those other styles that are quite fast, a little bit more breath to movement. In yin, we're really focused on stillness, on holding the postures, and it comes from a different lineage completely. It's actually based on traditional Chinese medicine and Taoism, and so we're really working with the meridians here to open up the meridians, release any blockages, all of that. In spring, we're focused on the wood element, and so in traditional Chinese medicine, we have the 5 elements. Spring is wood, and in this wood element, we are really focused on new beginnings, on regrowth, on growth, not regrowth, just growth. And so that's why I really wanted to focus on a springtime yin class. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and open up the meridians. So you can put your legs out nice and long. We're going to tap the meridians open, let some circulation come through the bodies. So we'll start with the right side on the big foot. You're just going to rub your big foot, and we're opening the liver meridian. And this is what's related to the springtime. Okay, and then we're going to start tapping the top of the foot, crossing the top foot, coming right in front of the ankle, and we're going to come up the inside of your leg. Maybe you switch to your palm. You don't want to push too hard, but definitely just to get the circulation going. We're removing any blockages, opening up, coming all the way up the leg, the inside of the leg, coming up the groin, tapping the belly, tapping the liver, the gallbladder, and then coming up the ribcage. Now we'll do the left side. So we'll start with rubbing that big toe, tapping across the top of the foot, and then up the inside of the leg again. And so this wood element is related to blockages with frustration or with anger. So if you've been feeling frustrated or angry, this will help you cultivate kindness, coming up the leg, up the groin, to cultivate kindness and compassion for yourself and for others. Okay, coming up the ribs. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to open the gallbladder meridian. So it's going to start from the corner of the right eye, just gently rubbing the outside of your right eye. We're going to tap up the head, coming up the skull, down the temple, along the side of your head, around the ear. And then we're going over the shoulder. We're going to use your other hand, gently tapping the shoulder, and then along the side of the body, coming all the way down, to the waist. Then we're going to continue down the side of the outer leg. All the way down the side of the ankle, across the top of the foot, and this time we'll end on the fourth toe. Just grabbing that gently. Alright, now we'll do the left side, tapping on the outside of your left eye, tapping up the forehead, around the head, around the ear, down the neck, and then maybe use your other hand down the shoulder, tapping all the way open, getting along the outside of your back, tapping all the way down to the waist, down the outside of the leg. Down the ankle, across the top of the foot, and once again ending on that fourth toe. Alright, hopefully the meridians are feeling a bit more open, got some more circulation here. And now we'll start the postures. So I'm just going to guide Alejandro through the postures, and I will be guiding you too. So Alejandro will demonstrate. We're going to start with dragonfly. So what I want you to do is actually sit on the long legs of the mat, open your legs out wide, and notice that when you open your legs out wide, I want you to open them as much as you can. Notice how your thighs kind of tense when you do this. This means you're too far. So I actually want you to come closer and you feel like your thighs aren't tense anymore. We want to relax in these postures in there because we're going to be holding them for a while. So once you have your legs nice and closed, we're going to take 3 big breaths here, okay? Inhaling through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more nice big inhale, sitting up nice and tall, lengthening the spine. Exhale. Beautiful. So now we're going to take one more inhale, on this exhale. I just want you to start leaning forward and rounding the spine, bringing your chin to the chest. So inhale, exhale. In yin, we only want to go to about 50 to 80% of our maximum flexibility because we're going to be holding this posture. So stay there. We'll be here for about 4 minutes. I want you to become aware of your breath. Take an inhale through the nose. And a nice slow exhale through the mouth. Anytime you get caught on any of your thoughts, come back to your breath and really allow your exhale to be much longer than your inhale. Just take a moment to notice, where has your energy been lately? Don't get caught up on it, just notice any words, any feelings that arise. Acknowledge them and just exhale, let them go. What have you been focusing on? thoughts. Always come back to your breath. We'll take 3 big breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Big exhale, sigh it out. Inhale through the nose. Big exhale. Once more, nice big inhale. Big exhale. Next inhale, slowly begin to rise up. And gently bring your legs in, shaking the knees. Bring your hands behind you. And just sit and rebound. Take a few breaths here. Maybe feel the openness in your back. And release. Take 3 big breaths on your own. Now we'll come into a banana posture. So we're actually going to come onto your backs, laying all the way down. Alright, first move both your legs to the left side of your mat. Cross your left leg over the right. No, your right leg over the left. I'm sorry. And then bring your arms up overhead, reaching both arms up over towards the left. If you'd like to, you can grab onto that right hand. You don't want to pull too hard. Your arms are gonna be there for a few minutes, so not too much stress on the arms. Alright, take a nice big inhale. Exhale. Getting comfortable. If you'd like to, you can close down your eyes. Inhale. Hopefully feel the right side of your body stretching. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release. Just notice any thoughts that might arise. Notice where your focus is. Is this where you would like it to be? No judgment, just acknowledgement. Again, inhale. Exhale, let it go. first step of any transformation is truly awareness. Being aware of where you are right now. Where your thoughts are, where your energy is. Where would you like your focus, your awareness to be? If you've gotten lost in your thoughts, then maybe come back to your breath. Taking an inhale. A nice slow exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Two more just like that. Nice big inhale. Big exhale. Big inhale. Big exhale. And slowly bring your arms by your side. Uncross your legs. Coming to Shavasana. And take a few deep breaths here. And reset. Notice how your body feels. What do you feel in balance? It's funny, again, it doesn't look like we're doing a lot. We're just holding one simple posture. But over time, you can really feel the difference in your body. You can feel it open up. Now come into our inhale on the other side. So move your hips over towards the left side. Bring your legs to the right. Cross your left leg over the right. Bring your arms up overhead towards the right side. Not pulling too hard. You really want both shoulders to be on the earth. Take a nice big inhale. Feel the stretch on the left side body now. Inhale. Slow exhale. Getting comfortable, maybe closing your eyes. said, spring is a time for new beginnings, for growth, for renewal. Is there anything, any new beginnings that you would like to start? Is there anything that you want to focus on that maybe hasn't been forgotten? Now's a time for newness, new direction. You're in charge. You get to choose where do you want to go. Take a nice big inhale, picking up these streams. Exhale, just let it go. And then just flow by. And back to that breath. A nice inhale. Long, slow exhale. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more breath breaths like this. On your next inhale, move your hands by your side. And cross your legs, move your hips back to center. And to Shavasana. Become aware of your body. Notice how it feels. Aware of your breath. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Where are your thoughts? Are you present? Inhale through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Just one more like that. We're going to come into one more posture, happy baby. So staying with your spine on the mat, we're going to bend into the knees and reach for the bottoms of your feet. Reaching from the inside of your ankles, grabbing onto the bottoms of your feet. Now, if this might feel really intense, grabbing onto the bottoms of your feet, we're going to hold it for a couple of minutes. So if you want to, you can grab onto your ankles or maybe even to your thighs. that might be a little bit more uncomfortable. The most important thing here is that your full spine is on the earth. And we'll take a couple of breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. I invite you to close your eyes. For you to think of something that you're grateful for. And then I come into your mind space and simply let it go. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more breaths like that. And 1 more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Next inhale, I invite you to let go of your legs. Extend your legs out nice and long, coming back into Shavasana. This will be our final posture for this evening section of our course today. Let your arms lay out by your sides, palms face up. Let your feet fall to either side. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears. Relax the space between your eyes. Release your jaw. Relax your cheeks. Relax your shoulders. Your chest. Release your belly. Release your breath. Relax your hips, your knees, your ankles. Relax your toes and your fingers. Relax your body. Release your mind. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Last one, nice big inhale. Bringing on newness. Exhale, gently rock your chin side to side. Slowly awakening your body, rolling your fingers, maybe your toes, pull out your wrists and your ankles. If you'd like to, you can bring your arms overhead, take a nice big morning stretch, lifting the low spine up off the mat, rolling onto your favorite side, coming to fetal position. I always like to take a moment to thank Mother Earth for all that she provides us. If there's any other gratitudes you'd like to take, an intention you would like to set, or just anything you want to leave here on your mat that you want to go, I invite you to do that right now. And when you're ready, we'll come up into a comfortable seat. And we'll close out the yoga session, the yoga session of our workshop. And we'll just close it out with a community breath. So we'll take one big inhale together. One big exhale. Alright, thank you. I hope you're feeling good. How do you feel?
Thank you, Nicole. I feel extremely relaxed and open as well. I feel like that just brought me really into the present moment. Not that I wasn't already here, but I'm more so here now. If that makes sense. You just did this. Hopefully you feel that as well. That was wonderful. And so thank you. If you have some, maybe next to you, maybe you grab a glass of water, take a sip.
Cheers.
It's always a nice little reminder to keep ourselves hydrated. And let's continue to move. I know you might be really relaxed as I am, so I'm going to just tell you a story. And so in 2015, I was kind of maybe where you are, feeling a little lost. I didn't really know what to do. And my dad actually invited me to a personal development seminar from Tony Robbins. And I said yes, I knew who he was. I was actually very excited to go. And one of the exercises that we did is called the map. And in order to do the map, what you have to know is where you want to go. And a map is essentially a GPS, right? Is you need to know where you are, and then you also need to know where you want to go. Because if not, you're kind of just swerving through that line to try to get up, to end up where you really want to go. And so while I was at this seminar, I did this exercise. And what I realized is that I really wanted to help people. And the first part of that, as Nicole mentioned as we were doing this yin session, was finding the awareness first. And if I know that I wanted to help others, I knew that I was being called to that. I knew that I regularly was talking to my friends, trying to help them with their problems. It was very easy for people to open up to me. And I realized that that's really what I wanted to do. I was already doing yoga, but I wasn't yet a yoga teacher, so I did a yoga teacher training, so that was the first step. But I wanted to take it even further than that because I really like to engage with people and have really deep conversations. And I realized that I wanted to become a life coach. And once that idea kind of came in, I realized, okay, so this might really be what I want to do. And so from there, I first have the awareness of it. So I knew that I wasn't a life coach. I was just at a seminar. I wanted to learn how to be a life coach. I wanted to do what he was doing, to be able to help and engage others and really help them push past who they believe they even are and get them to a place that maybe they even didn't believe they could get to. So after about a year later, I did quite a bit of research and I joined a coaching program, and I have been doing coaching for quite a while now, and it is a pleasure to be able to have these conversations that really open up new possibilities and that create these new identities for people so that they can realize where they can grow, and maybe where they're also stuck in. But until we have that awareness, we don't really know where we want to go. And so knowing that, hopefully that gives you an idea of maybe you don't know exactly where you are right now. Maybe you have an idea of where you want to go, or maybe you have no idea at all. And that's perfectly okay. Know that you are in the right spot. And the whole point of this is that we're going to look and we're going to do an exercise in just a second that's going to give us a quick snapshot of where we are. Because if we don't know where we are, we don't know where we're even going to go from here. So the first part is just getting really, really clear on where you currently are. So I'm going to pull this up for us. If you can check it out. Give me 1 second here. There we go. So we have our downloadable PDF. Again, if you don't have this, it is in the comment section below, in the description below. Thank you, Nicole. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the first page of this. And so the first page of this is called Our Wheel of Life. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into this a little bit so you can just kind of see the top part. And we're actually going to do this together. If you don't have the PDF, or if you just haven't printed this out yet, or you can't fill this out while you're on a computer, no, that's perfectly okay. All you're going to do is grab that piece of paper that you have, draw a big circle in the middle, and then you're going to divide it into these 8.5, 9 categories that we have. And so you can see, and then I'll give you a second so that you can do this with us in case you don't have that. Just draw a big circle, and then I'm going to read off to you what the categories that we have here are. And just know that there are different wheels of life. You can find these with a lot of different categories. These are general categories that we've selected that hopefully will give you a better idea of just the general outline of your whole life. So the categories that we have right now are emotional well-being, we have physical health, we have your career or your business, we have awareness, which is also how present you are. We have a section of your finances, we have a section that says time management, we have a section of discipline, and the last one is a section of relationships. And as you see, we have 2 different sections of relationships. One is our intimate relationships. Maybe you are together with someone, a partner, maybe a girlfriend, maybe your spouse. So know that we have that relationship is divided specifically to who your partner is. And then we also have a different one for friends and family. So that one gets divided in. And so we're actually going to do this together. And so what I want you to think about right now is in this present moment, in today, not in today, but today, how fulfilled on a scale of 1 to 10 are you with each of these categories? And while we do this, I want you to really not think of where do I want to be or where I was maybe even a month ago, is really how you feel about it today. And so normally as we go through this, and I go through this with my clients, the really easy part is trust your intuition. So for example, if I tell you how on a scale of 1 to 10, how fulfilled are you on your emotional well-being? Today, how would you say that the emotions that you have in your life on a scale of 1 to 10, how is that? Are they serving you, or are they serving you in a good way, or are they serving you in a bad way? The emotional well-being of your life, how would that feel? And I'm actually going to fill this with you, and hopefully you can see this also move on the screen. So for me, I'm going to fill it out, and it's going to be about a 7. So I'm actually going to write the number on the top. So it might kind of look something like that. Maybe you just write emotional well-being, you write the number next to it, and from there you can, sorry, delete that, there we go. So now we're just basically going to go into the next category. In your terms of your health, your physical health, how healthy do you believe you are today? How fulfilled are you with that category? So again, I'm going to come up, I'm going to just write an 8. And I just realized that I kind of filled the wrong number for emotional well-being. So I'm actually because that's the 7. Perfect. Same thing, your career and your business. How fulfilled are you in your career or your business? And so for career, business, at least in my personal sense, it might be very different for Nicole, even though we have a business together, and we can compare and see just where we are. I'm going to say about a 6. Nice. So synchronicity, there we go. The next one is your awareness. How aware, how present do you feel on a regular basis? So I'm actually going to I'm going to put myself at a 5 on that category. And hopefully you've gotten the idea by now of what we're doing. We're filling all these out. And the next one, so I'm going to write finances. Going to be a 4 for me. And again, I'm doing this honestly and sincerity. Like, these were how I feel today about this wheel of life. This is not something that I'm making it up just to kind of do this with you. The idea of this is that we're being open and honest, not only with ourselves, but also with those around us. And so this is me honestly filling this out. And I'm not so that that hopefully a little bit of that vulnerability comes through. My time management, I'm probably also going to put that at a 5. And keep going with this until you're done all the way through. And again, it doesn't have to look super pretty. If you are more creative and you really like to fill out every single one of those spaces, I'm also kind of doing this slightly quicker, just also to give us the sake of time. Know that if you can always pause this and continue if you need a little bit more time. In terms of discipline, probably going to give myself a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Perfect. And then, so I have intimate relationship. I'm going to give ourselves an 8 for that one. So we have our 8 and our friends and family. Probably going to give myself a 7 on that one. Slightly lower. Beautiful. So as you can see, we have the wheel filled out. So give me 1 second here. I'm just going to kind of outline the outer edges of this. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. 6, 5, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of how full the wheel is, at least for mine. Yours hopefully looks different. We're not meant to be the same. And so if you look at these, you can tell, okay, the areas that I probably focus more of my time on is my physical health, just making sure that I'm healthy. My intimate relationship is really high, my emotional well-being, and my friends and family. So those are my top 4 categories. And so I can tell if I'm looking at this, okay, this is probably where I spend a good amount of my time on. The categories that are normally doing really well, we normally pay more attention to on a regular basis. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing right or wrong about this. It's just currently where I am. And at the same time, without judging myself, I can go, okay, I know that I want my finances are pretty low, my time management and my awareness are also pretty low, so okay, maybe those areas I want to spend a little bit more time on. And so again, those are just quick observations I can make looking at my wheel of life. So I'm actually, because we're doing this together and we want to do this with you, I'm actually going to ask Nicole, maybe what are the top 2 categories that you have and maybe the bottom 2 categories that you have, just so that we are all kind of sharing this.
So I think my top categories are discipline and awareness. My bottom categories right now are my finances and my career.
All right, perfect. And so
maybe we can ask if anybody's live, if they want to say what they're.
If anybody's live, if you're there, if not, just kind of comment on it so we can see it. If nobody wants to comment, that's perfectly okay. No worries. We don't want to try to put you on the spot here. But hopefully you're doing this with us. Again, the important part is that to make sure that you're doing the work. And this just gives you a snapshot. Again, this hopefully took the first time you do it might take a little bit longer. The more times you do it, hopefully you do this a couple times in a year, maybe every season, so that you get an idea of just like, okay, where am I? Where have I moved? Where have I shifted? Or if you're even shifting at all. And so next, we're going to move into how does this actually make us put this into practice. And so on the bottom here, we have two charts, and one is going to say, one is in orange, one is in yellow, and they're both saying exactly the same thing. Really, we can only focus on a couple things at a time. I can't focus on everything, but the good part is we are one person. And as we do this, I know that if I start to put effort and time into making myself better in one area, in one category, normally what we see is that that also spreads across other categories as well. And so, just to give you a quick example, if I know that I start putting more of my energy into, let's say, I'm going to do this, right? I want to focus on is my time management. So I would write down, I want to focus on time management. And you'll see it pop up there on your screen in just a second. I want to focus on my time management. Currently, my time management, I can see is at a 5. Right? And so my idea is, okay, what does my next level look like? And most of us, when we try to set goals or when we're trying to figure out where we want to go, it's really nice to have a long-term picture of it. But most of us don't know how to even take the next step. So if to me, a 5 right now is where my time management is, my next level up would be a 6. What does a 6 look like for me? And so I'm going to actually say this rather than writing it down, but as I say this, maybe it inspires you to take some ideas and just to look at it. Okay, so my time management now, the main thing that I would say is, one, there's definitely quite a bit of social media, so less social media. And it takes me quite a while to focus on from when I get back. We're both teachers, so when we get back from school and teaching after having lunch, it takes me quite a while to get back into that mindset of, okay, now I need to put myself into work mode and get to that. So I know, and I can look at this right now and say, okay, I need one, less screen time, that is just consuming media, right? Mostly scrolling. And then the second part is, okay, I know that if I were to shorten the time from when I get back from school after I have lunch to put myself back into a work mode, I know that that would lead me to being at a 6. And so I'm going to write those down. What would be my points that can get me from a 5 to a 6. And again, I'm not trying to go from a 5 to a 10. I'm trying to take one step at a time. I know that, okay, maybe I'm going to focus specifically on doing less social media time, or maybe I want to focus specifically on how fast I re-engage into that action time. I think both of those for me are doable, and that's going to really lead me to pushing myself to elevating me into that number 6. So again, I now know where I am. I know that if I want to push myself a little bit more to get to that next level, I know exactly what I need to do, and that's giving me clarity on it. So hopefully you are writing these down as well. The idea is not to write a list of 20 things that can get you there. If you did write 20 things that can get you there, try to pick the one or the two things that are really going to help you push just from that wherever number you are to that +1. Right, so that first initial step. And again, we're doing one step at a time. We can't rush our way through these things. And the easier it also becomes for us to create that change in habit. But now I know exactly what that is for me. So I'm going to let Nicole kind of do the second one. So she's going to say, I will focus on, and what will you focus on? Which category?
So my focus is going to be on my finances.
Okay, focusing on finances, wonderful. And you're currently at a?
Currently at 4. As Alejandro said, we are teachers, and we have summer coming up, which means we won't be having an income this summer. And so for me, I'm starting to think, oh, okay, I got to start thinking about this. And so what my 5 looks like is actually having a more consistent income stream that I can rely on during both the school year and during the summer. And So for me, I think just having that extra consistency in another income stream is my next step.
Wonderful. So as you can see, Nicole, same thing. She knows where she is, and she's already starting to look at what the options are for her to push herself to that next level, which is the next income stream. Right. So that next income stream, once she puts it into place. So you can start to see, at least for me, if I know that I start doing my time management and I'm pushing myself from a 5 to a 6, if I actually put myself there, let's say hopefully in the next month or so, I can push myself to grow in that area. I know that one, less social media time is also going to probably affect my emotional well-being. It'll probably affect my relationships as well. It'll probably help with my discipline. And at the same time, if I'm actually doing more work, that's also probably elevating my career and my business. So that's for me. So if Nicole, if you feel like you were to push yourself to and really focus on your finances, how does that help you and move you from a 4 to a 5? Like, what other areas do you think that will also influence?
I think it'll definitely influence my emotions, my awareness, because I know like sometimes it's like taking me away from being present because I start thinking maybe those thoughts of like, oh no, what's going to happen? So I'll be able to be more aware, my emotions, I have no more stress. Probably help with time management because I will be consistently doing something, and probably discipline as well.
Wonderful. And so that gives us a really easy snapshot. Hopefully, you also have very clear just what your wheel looks like. The last metaphor I want to use, and especially hopefully you've done the whole wheel by now, is a really simple question. If this was the wheel on your car, how smooth is your ride? And so, I'm glad
Mine's not smooth at all.
neither is mine. It's a bit of a bumpy ride. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that hopefully you're putting a little bit of time and effort just to notice, again, awareness of where you are and how bumpy that ride may be, and trying to smooth out the ride. Right? It's never always, and hopefully, I mean, if it could be a 10 always, that would be the absolute best. That would be the smoothest ride possible. And I just want you to know that as you fill this up, if, for example, and I'm just going to do this here with a different color just so that you can see it, and I'm going to do it with a bit of a red. So if I'm going to choose my highest category, so if my 10, if I chose a category that would have been a 10, which would have been, let's say, my physical health, which would have been probably the highest. And so if I feel like my physical health is a 10 right now, that is absolutely fine. And you feel like, oh, well, Alejandro, but how do I push that to the next level? It's already a 10. So if it's already a 10, it means that what you're doing is wonderful. You're really taking care of it, and it's part of your daily habits already. And so what we're going to do is imagine if that 10, instead of your 10 now becomes maybe an 8 or a 7. And so basically what you're doing is you're pushing that limit down on by yourself just to say that there is room for growth. And that just means that what we're doing is maybe you still want to continue to focus on that health, but you're trying to figure out, oh, there's not another place to grow. So that's one way of doing it, is you naturally bring that level down. Or the other thing that you can do is just say, my health is a 10. I'm just going to stay at 10. I'm going to continue to give myself the time of day, and the habits are already in place for me to take care of myself. Maybe what I'm going to focus on is going to be just an entirely different category. And again, if you're already probably that well disciplined in one category, you're going to just transfer that discipline into another one as well. So for most of us, I would say that at least the many times that I've done this with clients, it's never been, there might be one category that's a 10, and again, that's not an area that we really need to pay attention and focus on, but hopefully if just letting you know that if you're like, oh, I have a 10 on this, how do I get to my next level, just know that that's the rating that you gave it. So what happens if that 10 instead is now an 8? That way that it gives you just a little bit of room to continue to grow in that area. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, perfect. And so I'm going to kind of pass this on to Nicole. Last thing just before we move on. So please do this, right? The importance of this is to give you a quick snapshot and know that you can do this once a month if you want to. You can do this every season. Hopefully, ideally, at least twice a year. Again, this is something that should take you a really, really small amount of time. And this is just us focusing on two categories that we want to focus on. I've done this previous times in the previous years. I've been doing this for quite a while now, where I used to grab every section and I went, okay, my emotional well-being is a 7. What does an 8 look like? My intimate relationship, what does that look like? What does my friends and family, what does that look like? So I did every category of the wheel, and I put myself into what does every next step look like, because I'm always trying to push myself on every category, but knowing that there's two main focuses that I really want to push on. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you can do that as well if you have more time to go for it. All right, and so I'll stop talking now. I'll pass this on to Nicole. So we're going to be looking at our empowering beliefs.
All right. Thank you. That was really wonderful. It's really eye-opening to see exactly where I'm going to be focusing this season. If you're here with us live, please let us know which category of life you're going to focus on in this season of life, and I wish you the best of luck. So one thing that happens once we choose something that we want, sometimes we're like, okay, this is what we want, but then all of these scary thoughts maybe start coming into our mind. So for me, what happened was I finished my yoga teacher training. I was super excited to become a yoga teacher, but I was really scared. I didn't have any experience. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think anyone would come to my classes. I didn't think any yoga studio was going to hire me because I had no experience. I just finished my training. Like, how am I going to start teaching? What else to do me? And so I was really excited. I had finished the training. I had the knowledge. I had the passion, but I had all of these beliefs in my mind, all these fears coming up that were stopping me from even applying for even trying. And finally, Alejandro came up to me and was like, "Hey, like, isn't this a dream that you have? Isn't this something that you want to be doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is, but like all of these things, like I'm not good enough. I don't know if any students will come. All these things were coming up, and just having that conversation, becoming aware of what these fears were, and actually acknowledging them, saying them out loud, and then we transformed them into empowering beliefs. So I told them, I was like, I'm not good enough, I don't have experience, all these things, and we sat down and we said, okay, like I'm not good enough. Why do I think I'm not good enough? Oh, I do have this knowledge. I do have this passion, and I've never learned it, so I'm only going to get better with time. Like, this is the beginning of my practice. It's only going to get better. So what I really needed was to practice. And so he helped me to take my first action. We actually started from information right then and there. We started teaching at the park by our house in Alameda, California. And it was really that change of beliefs that allowed me to take that action to go to start teaching in classes, like having classes. Then I began working at 2 different studios. Now we are teaching here in Spain. We have international yoga students. And so it's really seeing what those fears are and realizing, okay, I can overcome these fears. I can take action and like make my dreams come true. It's just acknowledging what's stopping us and then transforming that into something that can empower us. So that's what I want to do today. We'll go on to the next sheet from the book, the one called Empowering Beliefs.
You can see it there. I'm going to switch these around so you can see them. Perfect.
So I want you to choose one of those 2 areas of your life that we just focused on, one of the ones that you wanted to do. And I have a sentence here in the dark orange bubble that says, complete the sentence. If I had unlimited time and resources, I would. So I want you to think of a dream related to one of your categories and complete the sentence. So for me, my thing that I had with my finances was, if I had unlimited time and resources, I would, well, I would buy a retreat center. That is my dream. I want a retreat center. So I would fill in whatever it is that it might seem really far away from you, and that's okay. It's whatever your dream is. So for me, I would buy a retreat center. Okay, so fill in whatever that is. Now we're going to have 5 minutes where we're just going to copy it over again like you have it. So if I had unlimited time and resources, I would buy a retreat center. Now I'm going to write, I have a retreat center. And I'm just going to copy that over and over again for the next 5 minutes. But as I write it, I know because I've already done this. Some beliefs, some thoughts are going to come into my mind, why I can't have it, what people will think, all of those things. So as I'm writing, I just want to notice all of the thoughts that are coming into my mind, and under limiting beliefs, start writing what those scary thoughts are. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer for 5 minutes, and I want you to write down what it is that you now have, if your dreams come true. So I have a retreat.
And so you'll see Nicole is writing this just over and over again on the left-hand side of our worksheet. If you're just doing this on a piece of paper, maybe you divide it into 2 sections just so that you have a place to write what you want, and maybe on that separate section you just have a space for you to write any limiting beliefs and things that may come up, anything that may stop you from thinking that you're not good enough, whatever fears may come up, objections people may have to getting you there. You can even write, who do you think might stop you from getting you there? You can, what resources you may think you don't have available. Whatever it may be. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. What other resources show up for you? And again, just keep writing. And if you're like, oh, I don't know what to write anymore, keep writing. Just keep writing. Keep writing. I have a retreat center. I have a retreat center. I have a retreat center. And what that's really doing, one, is we're activating part of our brain to, it's called a reticular activating system. We're training our brain what it is that we really want. And so we're really trying to get clear on that. And the more times that you write it, the more times your brain goes, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And so we're really just trying to train it to give us what we actually want, and we pay attention to the thoughts of what might be stopping us. So we're about 2 minutes in. Keep writing.
Okay, but no, I can't. My thoughts aren't coming up if you're talking.
Okay.
All right, we have 1 more minute left. okay. Alright, and time. 5 minutes.
All right.
Okay, I don't know about you, like for me, the first time I ever did this, luckily I've done this a few times now, but like first time I did it, I actually changed what I wrote because I didn't believe in myself enough. Like there were so many negative thoughts that I couldn't even finish in 5 minutes. So if that's you, that's okay. I've been there. Yeah, like writing down your dreams, especially if you have all of these negative thoughts, negative and limiting beliefs, fears that are coming up. It's okay that it might be really scary to write down, especially if it's a big dream that's deep inside. So that's totally normal. For me, that happened the first time. I couldn't finish, and that's okay. So I want to share some of my limiting beliefs and what I'm going to do to turn them into empowering beliefs. So the first limiting belief that came up was I don't have the money or resources. So how I want to. I see. Okay. So I'm going to change. I don't have the money or the resources. My empowering belief is I am resourceful. I know that I am resourceful. And also, I know that I can make things happen. Like it just takes making a plan. So I'm resourceful. That I know to be true. Okay? No one will come to the center. Well, if no one comes to the center, let's see. I know that I attract people who are similar to me, and people who have similar beliefs and similar energies to me. So I know that I can attract really good people because I have really great people in my life. So my limiting belief is no one will come. My empowering belief is I attract people who are like-minded. And my evidence of this is I have wonderful people in my life. So another one, I don't know how to run a business. Okay, that's true. But there's a lot of things that I didn't know before. So maybe I don't know how to run a business now, but I can learn. So I can learn how to run a business. I am a good learner. I'm actually great at it. I love learning. So that I know I'll be fine. If I put the time and energy, I can do that. Okay, I don't know how to do this. That was my last one. Well, that's true. So maybe that's making a game plan. I'm really good at organizing and laying out steps. So I don't know how to do this. My empowering belief is I know how to create action plans. Okay, so now I want you to take the time to look at some of your limiting beliefs. Maybe they're similar to mine, maybe they're really different. And how can you change them into empowering beliefs? But not only into just taking the negative or the opposite of it or whatever and making it positive, but where do you actually have evidence of that in your life? Like how can you turn this into something that is empowering where you can believe in yourself? And sometimes I write things here at the beliefs where I really don't know where to go, but sometimes you have to dig a little bit deeper and say like, okay, like what is related, or maybe the empowering belief is I know when to ask for help, and that could be an empowering belief. Is maybe there's one of your limiting beliefs that you don't know how to tackle. Well, my empowering belief, I know how to ask for help. I know how to find solutions. So you can do it in that way. Would you like to share what your original sentences, what you have, or what you are, and maybe your one limiting belief come into it?
Absolutely. So for me, I didn't write 5 minutes. It was only about 3, so I only have a couple.
Wait, what was your complete the sentence? If I had unlimited time and resources, I would.
I want the freedom to travel and teach is what I wrote. So basically traveling and teaching. As I kept writing that, the four things that came up for me is one, I don't have the money. Two, I don't know where to start traveling. Three is what will I teach? And four, who wants to listen to me? Like who wants to I wrote my voice, not necessarily like my pitch of my voice, but like who wants to listen to like the knowledge that I have, and why would somebody want to listen to that? So I'm right. I didn't necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily call those limiting beliefs, but definitely thoughts that came up for me that are stopping me from getting there. And so the first one says, I don't have money, similar to Nicole. Right, I wrote, money comes to those who add value. And so the way that I make that an empowering belief is I add value that changes lives. So that maybe didn't necessarily start as a limiting belief, but I'm changing the sentence to make it an empowering one, that I am somebody that adds value to change lives. The second one is I don't know where to start. I actually wrote too many options. So the too many options just means it's undecisiveness. It's the fact that I can't go ahead and trust myself and trust my instincts on what I want. And so I wrote the empowering belief is I am decisive. And I wrote my top three right now. And I literally wrote three countries that just came to me. So Morocco, Finland, and Germany. So those are the top three. So we'll end up there. The third one is what will I teach? And basically that's me going, again, part of that, I'm indecisive. I don't know what I can teach or what I can share. And what I wrote, at least for myself, is I'm a storyteller, and I have the knowledge to share that uplifts others. And that comes from going through different levels of struggle. We all go through struggle, we all go through pain. It's different levels of how we interpret it for ourselves, but we all go through that. And the more that we transform that pain into seeing the other side of the story, I think that's what allows us to become great storytellers to share with others as well. So I am a great storyteller. And the fourth one was who wants to listen to me with my knowledge, is basically me not trusting enough in what I actually know. So my empowering belief from that is my story is about healing and growth. And as long as I know that what I share, the stories that I tell are for others to know, that hopefully can relate to me through what I've gone through, and that they've seen that what I do allows me to heal and also to grow, to move past that, allows me to, again, see that other side of the story, so that hopefully others will continue to come and continue to learn from me, and continue to allow me to do what I really love to do.
Cool, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So if anyone's live and would like to share maybe one of their empowering beliefs, I invite you to do that now. And I think that this can be a great resource for you. This is something that anytime I'm taking on a new goal or a new dream, this is something that I come back to, where I can say, okay, like what are the things that I really need to change my mind around so that I can actually accomplish this goal, accomplish this dream, and what is it that's really holding me back? Because otherwise I will literally just stay there paralyzed until I face fears. So I invite you to take some time to do this. I know sometimes it can feel really vulnerable. Maybe make yourself some like nice tea or take a bath and think about these things and make a safe space to work through some of this. But if you feel like sharing, I would love to hear what some of your empowering beliefs are, what your dreams are, and I would love to follow you.
And encourage you to get there. What are the main things that I know Nicole did it in her while she was writing them down, that I did slightly different is I didn't necessarily write with the limiting belief. I wrote down what the negative thought was. Just know that thought that you might have had as well is something that is stopping you. So try to figure out what the belief that you have about that sentence that you might have written down. And just so you know, if you look at what Nicole did, Nicole always started with I. Basically, she's trying to identify to her own identity. So just trying to get clear on what you believe is stopping you, and also at the same time learning to transform that into a belief, right? Something that, a thought that you may have that can push you to actually getting to where you really want to go. And again, those start with I. They're also really commonly known as I am statements. So those know that that's what the limiting and the empowering beliefs are really trying to do at that point, is to really shape and change the identity of who you are by the beliefs that you have. So hopefully that helps a little bit in case you're writing those down. Wonderful. So we're coming up here on close. So I'm going to guide us through a visualization meditation. Hopefully you've finished both exercises by now. You have chosen thus far categories that you really want to focus on, that you're trying to get more clear on. You actually now have changed and written down the limiting beliefs and transformed them into an empowering belief. But all of this really has to come into play, and we have to really go into a deeper part of our mind. We have to become really present. And one of the things that we have learned to do is, as we do a visualization, we're actually trying to tell our brains that it's already happened, even though it hasn't. Because the brain can't tell the difference between something that we think about or something that's actually happened. So when we do these visualizations, what I'm actually going to guide you into is a place of you seeing yourself as if both of these categories have already happened, and that you are the person that you just told yourself that you are, that empowering belief. So just very quickly, just look once again at the two categories that you have chosen, just so that when I say I choose this category, so you know exactly which one to pull from. And then I want you to say, I am. All of this is going to happen silently, so you don't actually have to speak out loud in case you don't want to. But just know that this will all be playing in your mind. So we're going to, once again, you can either do this in a comfortable seat, and you're probably already sitting down, but if you want to sit on the ground, if you want to find a bolster, if you just need to kind of move around and stretch just before we do this, please go ahead and do that. Or if you actually want to lie down and do this laying down, know that you can do that as well. Ideally sitting down, just so that we're there. So wherever you are, spine up nice and tall. Just take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, just let it go. We're going to take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, just gently closing the eyes. Allowing yourself just to relax a little bit more into the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, and ideally putting yourself in a place that brings you happiness, that brings you joy. Visualize yourself. Maybe you're really happy just sitting at the beach. Maybe you're up in the mountains in front of a lake. Maybe you're just happy being on your couch, maybe just on your porch or your balcony, watching the neighbors walk their dog, whatever it may be. Just visualize yourself in that place. Imagine yourself being calm. Imagine yourself feeling the bliss of being present in that place. And now, starting to look at that category of your life, the first category, and saying, I know I am at, and choose the higher number. Notice the sensations in your body. What can you see? What can you hear? What can you touch? What do you smell? Maybe even what do you taste? Really immerse yourself in this place and feel that category being already elevated. Noticing how that makes you feel. Going into your empowering beliefs, choose one of the beliefs that you already wrote down and repeat it to yourself. I am, and fill in the blank. Say it once again to yourself. Say it with a little bit more conviction, with a little bit more strength. I am. Once again, I am. Allowing yourself to soak in that feeling, to soak in the sensations of you already having achieved what you set your mind to. Feeling proud of yourself. Feeling wonderful about yourself for committing to yourself, for taking action, for deciding that you want to grow, and choosing with clarity the area and the person that you are becoming. Moving on to the second category. Once again, acknowledging the number that you want to be at, the number that you are at. Acknowledging, again, coming back to the present moment, that place that brings you happiness, that place that brings you joy, that makes you feel at peace. Coming back into another empowering belief, and how does this empowering belief support and get you moving to feeling victorious, to feeling accomplished, to feeling successful in this second category of your life. What can you see? What can you hear? What can you touch? What do you smell? What do you taste? Stepping into this place as both of these categories have been elevated. You have been transformed into this new person, the one that's committing, taking action, being fearless, unstoppable, unshakable. That these limiting beliefs don't have any power or hold over you. As you continue to move with clarity to the objectives that you truly want. Feel it. Let it be part of you. Without any resistance. So it is. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, just let that feeling sink into your body. One more deep breath in. Letting go of any limiting beliefs you may be holding on to. Slowly blinking open the eyes. Wonderful, friend. So today, first off, what we did was calming ourselves down. doing the yin class, what we're really trying to do is change the energetic state that we're in. Some of us may be feeling really anxious, we might feel like we're stressed, and that might be a regular place where we live. So the idea of that was to transform the energy in the beginning to a place that feels calm, that feels safe, that feels like a place where you are you rather than being in that fight or flight kind of reaction or state. Secondly, we did the Wheel of Life. The Wheel of Life, very quick, easy snapshot, just so that you know where you are, right? Again, going back to that map, in order for you to move anywhere, you need to know where you currently are. Then you can move yourself one step at a time, choosing the categories that you really want to focus on, and also seeing how incrementing those can transform the other categories of your life. Lastly,
and finally, we chose one of those areas of our life to attach a dream to. And we discovered what limiting beliefs we have, and we turned them into empowered beliefs. So now that we can move forward without fear, we know that we're capable, and we have our beliefs that we should also keep somewhere safe that you can look at again and again whenever those fears start to come back up. And then finally, Alejandro allowed us to sink all of this in a visualization meditation. So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. This is our first workshop, and we're so happy to have you here. So thank you so much. We would love any feedback, anything that you liked, you didn't like, anything you would like more of. All of that would be wonderful feedback. So thank you so much for being here.
yeah, absolutely. And if you didn't do this live with us and you did it afterwards, you can put anything that we said into the comments. We'd love to know just what categories you're working on, what areas of your life you're trying to improve. If you have any questions on maybe any of the exercises that we did that you're trying to get a little bit more clear on, please feel free to drop them down below and we'll get to you as quickly as we can. And our mission here at Flow into Nature is to continue for you to explore yourself so that you get to know yourself.
And choose joy!
You get to be yourself and choose joy because it's a choice that we get to make. So, love you friends. Hope to see you very soon. Bye.
See you on the next one.